Hello everybody, this is Howard the Teaser King coming to you with week 2 of the NFL. Week 1 was a total shambles. I deeply apologize to my subscribers, my customers. It was just the trends got hammered. And then some of the games I should have played, I didn't. Instead of playing Oakland, I played Oakland over, which had it been week 3 or 4, Oakland would have went over. There's a lot of field goals. But then the Giants owned Dallas, but that's what you're looking for. You're looking for a 19-2 trend. It doesn't win every time, but that's what you're looking for. When you find it, you got to play it. Yeah, Beckham being out, I didn't think New York doesn't have another wide receiver. So anyway, let's get past week 1. But part of the problem in pro football is week 1, because these teams don't play in the exhibition week 4 anymore. So you see them a little in week 2 and a little in week 3. You really can't get a good feel of them. They got all the backups playing. Why? They could get hurt. So I don't get it. And then all of a sudden there's no week 4, so it's like everybody has a bye. And here comes week 1. Nobody's played a full game. I don't get it. The starters haven't played a full game. They played a half in week 3 of the exhibition. You have no idea. You have no idea what to expect. You're thrown for loops all of a sudden. Now, Tom Savage should have played that fourth preseason game. I mean, he wasn't that bad at Pitt, and I'm not sure he's that bad. When you look at it, you don't have... Really, I have no clue about anything from week 1, except I know New England has some injuries. Hightower and Amendola, and they already had... Edelman out. I know that Minnesota's got a decent offense. I have no idea Jacksonville, Houston. Houston's not that bad. Jacksonville's not that good. They get a lot of blitzes and a lot of fumbles. Well, that means Houston should have ran screens or just ran the ball and played defense, because the only way they were going to lose is if they turned the ball over. Now with that defense, I don't think, Jacksonville probably didn't score at all in the game. It was probably all the turnovers that led to touchdowns. You can't blame the defense. So you really have no idea in that game what's going on. And now they're starting Deshaun Watson tonight, and I'm like, okay, Deshaun Watson was good at Clemson. I give him credit. He's a winner. He beat Alabama once. He lost to Alabama the other time. So I give him credit there. I'm still looking for Chad Kelly, the guy from Mississippi who beat him 2 times in a row, going, okay, that kid should be in the NFL. Why isn't he? When you got Tom Savage in the NFL, you've got the kid at Indianapolis, the guy from Wisconsin who I can't even think of because it makes me sick anyway. But, I mean, you've got such bad players, and then here's Chad Kelly, he's not playing. You got Bryce Petty should be there. Dougherty from Western Kentucky should be there. Why aren't these quarterbacks in? And then you've got Tom Savage. Why? What is so appealing about Tom Savage that you'd make him your starting quarterback over all these kids out of Baylor and Texas Tech and Cal, and well, not Cal, but I mean a lot of these other programs? What the hell are you doing? Why would you pick Tom Savage? Because he played under center? That doesn't mean anything. He's got a good arm? That doesn't mean anything. The kid's a winner or not. Josh Rosen, I would make first pick of the draft. I'd make first quarterback taken because he's a winner. He came back from 34 down against A&M. He lit up Hawaii. I mean, this is what you're looking for. He's a winner. You don't look at the arm strength. You look, can the guy win the game? I mean, this whole bullshit about under center. How hard is it to take a snap? I mean, it's so stupid. Or just stay in the shotgun. I think these NFL offensive coordinators are terrible anyway. Look at the Giants' offense coordinator, should be fired. Half these teams' offensive coordinators have no clue what they're doing. Why aren't they running more of this college stuff that produces 50, 60 points a game? Where's that? Where's the Baylor offense? Where's the where's the Ohio State offense? Where's this Oklahoma offense? Where is it? I mean, so you got Baker Mayfield and you got Josh Rosen. I don't know how good Daniel's going to be. You got the kid from Washington. You got the kid from Oak State. You got Flowers from South Florida. You've got stay away from Ohio State. stay away from Michigan. So you got at least 7 really good quarterbacks, and the kid from Louisiana Tech, Western Kentucky. I mean, you got all these kids, and then they stick with Tom Savage. Okay, yeah, they'll probably draft Wilton Spate in the first round from Michigan, so he can throw 2 pick sixes a game too. All right, now that I'm talked and educating, and let's get to the pros. I have 2 locks going. Well, when I call 2 locks, I have 2 teams that are locked. One's a huge trend. The other is just a very strong over/under that it's right up my alley. All right, let's go. Pitt, Minnesota. Pitt laying 6 to Minnesota. Gotta love Minnesota in this game, getting 12. Let's run down some stats for everybody. So Minnesota, since 2015, is 9-1 as a road dog. Pitt's 12-2 as a home favorite, which is, they're a good home team. Pitt was 7-1 last year as a home favorite. Minn was 3-1 as a road dog. And we'll go back to 2014. Minnesota 16-2, 89% as a road dog since 2014. Pitt 16-5, 76%. So why do I go back to 2014? Because it shows Minnesota likes, when they go around the road as a dog, they're fine. They enjoy it. They have no problem with it. That's exactly what you want to see. Some teams don't like to be road dogs. Some teams do. And this is why I keep all the trends. And this is why pros are different than college. I looked at the college, and I said that in my college speech on App State or Texas State. Texas State's a lousy home dog. I feel that's important because teams realize, like Minnesota obviously gets pissed off when they're the dog. They have a great defense. That helps being a dog. You don't get blown out too often. The offense I saw on Sunday night or Monday night against New Orleans helps, but again, how good's New Orleans? But still, Minnesota had a good balanced offense. I like Cook as the running back. Bradford's looking better. The new offensive coordinator, and their defense is still stellar. Pitt's Pitt. You gotta love Roethlisberger and Le'Veon Bell, and I like this James Conner from Pittsburgh's better than Bell. Wait till you see him, and then Antonio Brown. So Pitt will score, but as I always say, defense will shut down offense. Pitt didn't look all that great against a weak Cleveland team, 21-18. And again, this is why I stress get by the best line. I had Pitt at 2.5 when I saw the 8.5. If it went to 9, I would buy the half a point to keep it at 2.5. It's critical you get it under 3 if you can. That's why I will post a line like that early, because I know it's going to go up, and I want everybody to get in and get it under 3. And there it was, critical. That was a lock last week. Pitt. Fortunately, I had New England over. It was such a strange week. I had New England. They blow a 27-21 lead in the fourth quarter. When have you ever seen that? Now, that was Hightower got injured. And as soon as he got injured, here comes Hunt from Toledo. And I watched Hunt at Toledo, and I know he's a very good running back. He ain't that good. He just took advantage of a mismatch. They won't get it against Philly this week. And now Kansas City's the home favorite, not a road dog, and it's a total different icon. There's no head-to-head. I guess the closest you can't really say Minn against Green Bay because Pitt's not like a Green Bay type. But I'm very comfortable with Minn being the dog. That's one thing I didn't do last week. It was such an unusual week. I didn't play Oakland as the road dog, which I should have. I I played Oakland over, which I thought was a better bet, as I stated in the video. So it was a really screwy week 1, and you know, the Rams scoring all those points, that was all pick sixes. Scott Tolzien, that's the guy's name at Indy. I mean, he what is he doing there? So you didn't really learn a lot. It was just a weird week. Pick 2 is going to be Baltimore and Cleveland. Baltimore is laying 8. I'm going to give you some stats that you won't even need to ask. Here's Baltimore versus Cleveland since 2012. When the game's in Baltimore, everybody's 4-1. Cleveland, Baltimore, the favorite and the dog. Since 2010, everybody's 6-1. Cleveland, Baltimore, the favorite and the dog. But Baltimore in the series is 12-2. 11-2 is the favorite. So in 14 games since 2010, if you took Baltimore, you're 12-2. 11-2 is the favorite. You go back to 2006. Baltimore at home is 10-1 in the series. The favorite's 10-1 in the series. Baltimore is 16-3 as the favorite. That's either if the game's at Cleveland or Baltimore. Baltimore's 19-3 in this series. Enough said. Let's go to the trends. Let's go back to 15. Baltimore used to be a better home favorite. They got some injuries a couple years ago. It's kind of skewed their trends. Let's look at Cleveland as a road dog. Cleveland, a bet against road dogs since 2015 is 14-2 against, 88%. 16 times they're a road dog, you bet against them, you're 14-2. That's since 2015. You go back to 2014. They're now 20-3, Cleveland, as a bet against road dog. Baltimore, they're like 14-6, but like I said, they had that bad year. But they used to be a very strong home favorite. So Cleveland goes on the road, they lose every time. Bet against Cleveland since 2014, 41-8, 84%. Bet on Baltimore, 38-13, 75%. Bet on Baltimore since let's look at last year. Baltimore 6-1 as a home favorite. It must have been 15, they had injuries. Baltimore 6-1 as a home favorite, 15-2 against the number, including a win last week at Cincy as a road dog. Cleveland 9-8, but if you bet against them, 16-1. And I call, since I had that, I called. I think I called Pitt. Or I think I called Cleveland a winner. Well, they won as the home dog, but I think if you went against them, I called it a win because I had Pitt laying the 2.5. So here you go. Here's Cleveland, 16-1 bet against. Baltimore, 15-2 if you bet on them in Baltimore. Baltimore owns them in the series. As far as I know, their defense is very strong to shut out Andy Dalton. I'm not sure what Cleveland. Okay, Deshaun Kaiser. Notre Dame won, 3 games last year, so I don't know why people think Kaiser's any good. And then you look at it. All right, he ran a little bit. They don't have a running attack, Cleveland. I'm not sure who their receivers are. Yeah, they got Peppers, who I really dislike now, from Michigan, because he sat out the bowl game, which I thought was very inappropriate and very unprofessional. These college players are professionals, right? And so I don't like when they sit out a bowl and they let their team down. He's going to let his team down in Cleveland too. So I'm very, very disappointed in that. It shows no heart, no character. You're worried about money than playing the game, and that's, you've got to love football to be good at it, not this. So I'm looking at Baltimore. I don't know, to pound Cleveland here. And they're laying, it was 7.5. I posted it at 7.5. It's 8 today. Get it in before it goes to 9. You need to buy it. This game will not be close. This will be at least say a 14-point win, something I want to say like 23-3, 23-6. Now that they have film on Kaiser, see the first week Pitt doesn't have film on Kaiser. Now, why did Pitt stop scoring? I don't know. They had a 21-10 lead, but now they have some film on Kaiser. He likes to run. Baltimore will kill him. It's on the road, and you see Cleveland on the road. It's terrible. Take Baltimore minus right now 2, go 8 down to 2. Get it under 3. Bet it big. You got them with Minnesota. Just pound away, and that's what you're looking for. It's much clearer this week. I know what I got in Baltimore. Flacco's playing. I know what I got in Minnesota now. And that's the problem with week 1. The players haven't played a whole game. You have no idea. They were off week 4. It's the stupidest thing. And you had more injuries than you had because these players are so tired because they're not in football shape. They're not in hitting shape. So because they're not in shape to play 4 quarters, you're getting all the injuries. And that's the problem. So now that you have a feel, so probably about week 3, you'll know who the teams, like the Rams. Who are they? San Diego, I think we have a pretty good idea with, when you have Rivers back and you have Manning back and you have Brady and Rodgers, you pretty much know the team. I think Seattle will bounce. They're not as bad, but again, they lost Curse in the trade, so they're ramping up. So you just keep an eye on that. I don't know what to make of New England with all the injuries against Drew Brees. I don't know. I mean, New England doesn't normally lose 2 in a row, but at New Orleans, with the injuries New England has, I don't know that they're going to win that game. Now, you hope they lose, because if New England loses 2 in a row, you can lay 30 points in whoever they play week 3, and you're hoping it's the Jets, Miami, or Buffalo, and they'll kill them. So that's what you're hoping for. You're really hoping for a New England loss tomorrow, because it's a tough team. New Orleans, you can't lay 6.5. Even, it's hard to lay. I'm not betting against New England after a loss, but let's just say this, wink, wink. The over looks really nice in that game because you got Breeze scoring without a defense, and if Hightower's out, you got New England scoring. Their defense hurts. Brady will be on fire, win or lose. So, yeah. See, now in college, that would be a 77 over, and you'd have to cut it down to 71. In the pros, it's like 55, I think, which is a much easier number to hit in the pros. So wink wink, that's kind of probably an over game there. Again, I feel so bad about last week that I'll make it 3 there. All right, everybody. Look for teams like Seattle to bounce back. Look for Oakland to be strong. I'm curious about Carolina at home. Gave you Minnesota. Philly, KC. I don't buy KC. I never have bought Andrew Reid. He always is a choke. There's really Chicago, Tampa. Tampa Bay's 0-10 as a home favorite, or 10-0 if you bet against them as a home favorite. And the Bears are just as bad as a road dog. So it's a game. That's a game I don't know over or under because you haven't seen Tampa yet. They'll be rusty. That's not going to help them. I gave you Baltimore, and then Dallas-Denver should be a very good game. It'll be a good one to watch. Like I said, Seattle should bounce. And Detroit and the Giants, let's see what happens with Beckham, if he's playing or not. Again, I don't know that Detroit's as good as they looked against Arizona, because Palmer looked terrible. And the Giants aren't as bad as they looked against Dallas. So you got to understand where the game is and the matchup. The matchup's the key. And off of a loss, teams get a little bit more emotional and fired up. So you got to be careful there. Anyway, www.teaserking.com. 4 locks going. Anybody who wants a 5 teamer, you just pay the advisory fee if you're not a customer. If you're a customer, I'm happy to play the 5-teamer. I got 4 locks plus a boatload of college and at least 6 or 7 really strong pros. I'm really pissed off after last week. I don't like to lose once ever. I hate losing in a week, and we will definitely make that up to everybody. So good luck. If you want college and pro and all the locks, it's $135. You can still buy the season at a discount, and if you want the month, there's the discounted on the month, and you can get the pros, the college, or the locks. www.teaserking.com. Have a great week, everybody. Good luck, and play these games very, very hard. Take care.